Hello, GP. Good evening. We are
Okay, good
live.
evening, everyone.
Yep.
Chalo. Okay.
So some chats I was just looking at before we begin. So 29 marks, 19 here, 41 here, right? वही सब बात कर रहे हैं, guys. Good or bad or how it was. Let's see. Let's open the package. Right.
Mhm.
I'm sure Jijo will be joining us soon. Shivku is also joining us soon. So yes. GP shall. Oh, any starting words before we go to the slide?
Yeah, I would say that if you're looking at this paper, now there are two kinds of students. Some of the students who are repeating, who have come, okay, let me add, Gijo is there. Okay, great. Okay, so
Jijo is
there
there.
are two sets of students out here. Some of these students are repeating and they have an idea of how to take the paper. For them, what they again need to see were they able to implement that right or not. And for the students who are taking this CAT for the first time and this is the first mock that they're taking, work through the CDC, they need to understand how they should be taking the paper. So yes, your scores are going to be poor. Okay. The key thing you need to ask yourself is, did I attempt the right questions? Gijo and I talk about something which is called the Akad score. What was my Akad score? What is it that I was capable of getting? And what is it that I got? If there's a significant gap between the two, I need to look at it. If they are almost the same, then maybe it's a knowledge issue. Okay, but yes, I would say focus on understanding how the paper should have been attempted more than worrying about I did not know this topic, I did not know this subject, or my syllabus is not complete. Don't worry about that aspect at all. Ijo, anything you'd want to add?
Yeah, first of all,
Opening statement.
congrats to all the brave ones who've taken the mock. And my hope is that you'll continue to be brave and not have this crazy logic that I'll now complete the syllabus and take the next mock. We'll obviously, I'm sure that we'll address it. So it is important that what this mock has allowed you is to get to know where you stand. That is number one, and especially where you stand with respect to the fellow students who are very serious about the preparation, and also knowing for a fact that you don't have to solve the entire paper to get the 99.5 percentile or even a respectable score. So the analysis of the mock is going to be very important, and as I say, no mock, no cat. So that is what I'll say now. And obviously, as we go along with the presentation, we'll talk about this in detail. But I just want to let you know that it's a crucial, important step that I have taken by just taking this mock test, irrespective of what the score is, irrespective level of preparation. As GP was saying, some of you have taken the CAT before, you're repeating, some of you are taking the first time. It is better to get shocked now rather than getting a shock later in life. Okay, so that's what I got
So
to say now.
before I move to the slide, at this stage, I think score is immaterial. So what GPS said, what Jijo has said, it is immaterial, and you're brave if you've taken the mock. In fact, I want to quote Swagat Mishra, who said, "I got 21, but I'm happy to take the mock." So that's the attitude to go with. And with that, let's go on to the first slide. Right? What are the main things to focus in the first few mocks? Right, so the whole reason why we are doing this is to get acquainted to the pattern of CAT, the format of the exam, right, and what it looks like and what kind of a demon is it, right? So the first reason, of appearing for this mock was not to be prepared or not prepared, syllabus done or not done, but the idea was to first get acquainted with CAT, right? GP, building stamina, I mean, how important building stamina to reach where we want to reach, right? I think you're the right person to talk about that, please.
I think there's nothing called building stamina. Just start taking the paper. Okay, stamina gets built over a period of time. You just start taking the paper. If you wait for stamina to be built and then take the paper, you are targeting CAT 25. So just don't worry about anything. As Gijo said, just start taking the papers. You'll build stamina on the way.
You're right. And analyzing and utilizing feedback, Jijo.
Yeah. So one of the things that everyone needs to understand at the end of the day, when you look at, let's say, syllabus, practically the only thing that has got some sense of syllabus is maths. right? So you have at least some chapters. You can go, you can syllabus. Well, what is the syllabus for DLR? What is the syllabus for VRC? And therefore, if I am, that is practically, I mean, 66% of the paper, right? And so if you kind of when somebody talks about feedback, this is something that we'll discuss in detail. But also, what is important is that you were given X number of questions, which is the 66 question that you had. Obviously, you did not solve all the questions. All the questions that you solved, you did not get everything correct. But therefore, it's absolutely important to go back and redo all the questions without any time limit, understand what you could have got, what are the kind of mistakes that you made, and if you can do it in every single mock starting today. So that's about, so all, if you've taken CDC one, then this is a flexi mock, so you'll also going to get the pro mocks later. So you're going to have 30 mocks, and if you can learn from every single mock and utilize feedback and learn from every single mock, I'm sure that you're going to do well in the cat. So this mock is definitely not a reflection of your ability, but you have to treat the mock test as a preparation tool, a tool that is part of your journey, which is going to help you give the right direction to your preparation. And if you have that attitude, then utilizing the feedback of this mock test that you take has to be something that is absolutely crucial. So point number 3 is what I'm going to put at point number 1.
Yep, yep, absolutely. In fact, funny part is we have shown some cases of what you said. You know that this is not the time to decide where you are going to stand way down in November, right? So we have shared some cases in this in the at the end of the presentation. So hold on till there, guys, which will give you a good idea about where the students were when they started off with the CDC one last year, why and where they reached finally, right? So it'll be an interesting case study, a couple of case studies for you to see. So we brought some samples to look at. Okay, GP just went out, but the fourth point is very much his, which is use Jugaad and solve maximum number of questions you can, whether you have done the syllabus or not, whether you've covered the chapter or not. Try using different ways of getting to the answer, and that could be logic, that could be using the options, that could be elimination. There are so many such techniques, and we will be discussing and teaching these things in the upcoming sessions. That even if I don't know a chapter, I don't know the formula, I can still end up solving the question specifically in quant, right? So we will be discussing this going forward in the further sessions again ahead. एक क्वेश्चन है जीजो सुयश का, was this mock on par with actual CAT exam? What
So,
do you want to
so,
say about this?
so first of all, what is an actual cat? So if you actually look at over the years, if you look at, let's take from 2017 or 2020 maybe, you see that the cat has got various sort of level of difficulty. That is number one. Number two is that within a single year, there are going to be 3 tests, morning, afternoon, and evening slot. And these 3 tests has got slight variation in terms of level of difficulty. So if you look at this particular mock test, what we try to do is that we would want to create the test as close to a cat. So what you would probably would have seen, this particular paper would have been aligned, at least from a logic point of view, from mapping point of view, would have been aligned to the cat this happened last year. So which is why you probably would have found your math having some crazy algebra questions and it's relatively manageable VRC, and then DLR. I'm sure that
Was
it's all the
heavy.
case. So to answer the question, there is so sort of no setting as what CAT level is, because also one other thing that I want to say is, irrespective of whether the CAT is going to be easy or CAT is going to be difficult, there are only certain number of students who are going to make it. So you have to beat the rest of the competition, right? So the question that you have to ask yourself is not whether this paper was aligned to anything, but what did I do in this particular paper? Did I do my best? Did I
So
do
in
all
fact,
the questions that I know? That, I think, if we can keep that as simple, I'm sure that all the mock tests that we are designing keeping whatever that cat level is. Okay, so
in
that
fact, I just
be
want to
rest
add
assured
this.
about. Yeah.
I just want to add this to what you're saying, that throughout your mocks, first of all, don't get fixated on this question ki cat ka level kya hai at all. Exactly what Jiju has said, but don't get stuck to this question at all, because cat ka level is different every year. In fact, cat ka koi level nahi hai. Even the sections are different. Maybe a section is easier, a section is more difficult, and it has nothing to do with It is all relative. So basically, as he said, it's a relative performance that is going to matter. Whether the cat was difficult or easy does not matter, because relatively you are still where you are, right? So let's go on to the next one, the fifth one. So someone just asked me, what is the point of giving a mock right now? Exactly what we are discussing, Vita. What we are discussing is to get acquainted, build stamina, utilize feedback and analysis, right? Learn to use jugaad to solve maximum questions, because you don't know, you've not done the entire syllabus. We'll talk about syllabus also as a thing, that there's no syllabus of cat as well, right? So cat syllabus pe nahi depend karega. Fifth is be calm. So learn to be calm going forward is what it is. Learn to manage time and keep faith in yourself, and keep faith in the system, where it says that you will grow eventually, and that is a purpose where we have to start somewhere. And this is what has happened now is not your level. Definitely, even if you are at a 98 99 percentile level score, whatever score you get at that time, let's say you are at a score of 60 65 in this mock, it doesn't matter. And if you, even if you are at 2 marks like someone said, or -2, it doesn't matter, right? Before we move on to the next slide, GP, any point that you would like to focus a little bit on? Yeah. Okay. So let's go on to the next one, Jijo. Uh, Main things we need to avoid in the first few mocks. So
I mean, I'm sorry, but the first thing to avoid is stop taking mocks. And I'm sure that at least many of you would are thinking, अभी मैं syllabus खत्म करके वापस आने वाला हूँ. ये पहले syllabus है क्या? I don't know. Okay, कब खत्म करेगा? I don't know. So the thing is, to answer the question somebody asked last time, what is the point in taking the mock test? Is the question as what is the point in taking the cat in the first place? So if I am basically saying that, what am I preparing for cat? Am I aligning my preparation? Am I aligning my process? Where am I with respect to others? What are others are doing? What is the issue? Eventually, at the end of the day, you're preparing, let's say, algebra, not because you want to be great mathematician. At the end of the day, you're preparing all that you're preparing to ensure that you can get marks. And like one of the things that he said, that, so, for example, after every mock, there is a video. Let's take maths for the time being. Okay. After every mock, there'll be a video by GP on Jugaad solution. That without knowing, with knowing basic maths, you will be able to do something. Now, if I'm thinking like that right from the beginning, and I'm watching all the video solutions, I'm trying to apply these problem solving skill set. I'm developing those skill set while parallelly my sort of concept preparation is going on. And you will notice that when these two things are happening parallelly, you will see a lot many improvement in the score, irrespective of whatever happens. I think the most important thing according to me that you should avoid is to start thinking that abhi sab khatam karke main mock dunga next one. Please continue to take the mock test. That is that's something that sort of is a to me zeroth law of mocks. Okay.
right. So point number 4 should be point number 0 here.
Yeah. So yes, yeah. The point number 4 is point number 1.
Right. Okay. So that was good. So don't panic, don't get demotivated. That's the purpose. The purpose of this session. Acha, ek aur question hai on this point only. Someone is asking, are we going to discuss the questions in this session? No, the analysis does not entail discussion of questions, because you are yet to do the analysis. And before analysis, you're supposed to solve the paper again, and which is what we'll cover in the latter part of the discussion today. That the analysis starts with solving the paper again, right? And till then, we would definitely not discuss. And discussion of the questions is not as important, because you will get the solutions anyway, right?
Just to add to what Sunil you have said, and what Jijo said, I'm just adding to it. I have made 3 videos today, which a student needs to go through. First video is about how the DILR section should have been attempted. Because ultimately, in those 40 minutes, you cannot do all 4 sets. You will do maybe 2 sets. If you're extremely good, maybe 3 sets. But even if you have to do 3 sets, that means you need to be clear as to which set not to attempt. So the starting, as far as DILR is concerned, always is, okay, which are the sets I should have been able to identify as being easy and attempted, which is the set I should have been able to identify as difficult and not attempted. So that video goes under the name DILR overview as to how you should attempt the paper,
So
DILR section.
I'll just
Exactly.
specify for those all those who are new here, right? All these videos that GP is talking about will be available as strategy videos in your aspiration, the student portal, right? That you have where you wrote the test. Uske analysis section mein you will see these videos. So you can always go back to that. But I would suggest that was do try to solve the paper again because you might not have attempted all the questions so far,
Okay.
right?
And
Yeah, Jijo, you were saying
there'll be,
something.
yeah, I was saying that there's one video overview for DILR, then another similar video for the quant section. Again, which questions should have been attempted, not attempted, which ones were doable, which ones you could have applied Jugaad. And there is a third video which says Jugaad video, QA Jugaad. While it is primarily about Jugaad, I have attempted a few questions which are non-Jugaad questions because I thought they were important. So what that will show you was that there were at least 10, 12 questions which were doable, and some of those questions were again so simple that you could have just worked your way through those questions without even knowing anything. Okay? And every paper, if you go through these videos, similarly, Jijo will be putting up later on videos on English, and if you go through them, your learning will start happening there. But the important thing will be whatever techniques, whatever we discussed there, those you have to keep revising.
Okay, so let's go through the points again. Panic and don't panic, don't get demotivated, don't lose self confidence on the basis of the current score, right? Don't judge yourself on the basis of this particular score or percentile, right? Don't miss mocks is what Jijo said, right? Don't miss mocks at all, right? All 30 mocks are very important, and we'll take you through a journey, right? Don't look for or collect multiple resources. That doesn't help. Resources collect करने से काम नहीं होता है, right? You need to actually sit and do things, right? Resources you have a plenty, no, in your SP. So make sure that you utilize them, right, and you listen to your mentors and no attend such sessions also. So don't go looking for because you get scared. You start looking for things. ऐसा नहीं होता. That's not how it works. You just got to do things right. Don't take the next mock without analyzing the first one. At the same time, don't miss the mock as well. So make sure you analyze this particular mock and go for the next one, which will be next month, right? Just a second. Don't attempt. I am not able to read this.
Don't attempt too many questions.
Okay. So don't attempt too many questions. So that you'll come to it eventually, right? Anything before we move on? Jijo and GP?
No, but I think
No, I think that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Why are these mocks important right now? That we've already answered, but you understand where you are in the terms of your CAT preparation. It helps you identify your strengths and weaknesses. That is, if you analyze them, appearing for mocks only doesn't help you. Appearing for the mocks gives you an idea, and that idea becomes clearer when you analyze in terms of your weaknesses, your strengths, how to get score. Someone said what to do if the OCAD score is 0. Right? I think you did not get the meaning of OCAD score. So I would request GP and Jijo to explain OCAD score again for the students who joined late also.
So I think it's coming the next slide when it comes to analysis. We'll explain
Okay,
what it means. Okay.
Done. Okay, so you get familiar with the different questions of different levels and levels of difficulty, right? And then you learn to choose which questions to do and which questions to let go of, right? The analysis of each mock helps you mark the progress and improve on the weaker areas. We know this, we've discussed this. And finally, they help you improve your speed and accuracy. You get to do more practice, and hence those things work out for you, right? So having said this, how to attempt your mock test. So this is a cycle that I want to quickly touch upon, right? So first is you start preparing. So you are already preparing. Along with preparation, let's say your lecture happened on time, speed, distance, but then your job is to go back and practice and go through, the questions, maybe in the topic test, in the funda books, and so on and so forth. I'm not even sure how many of you actually visited the topic tests online on your student portal for a chapter that you've done already and went ahead and solved them, right? So prepare, then practice. You make some strategy. This test you went without a strategy because you did not know what to do with it. So generally you strategize, then you take a test, then you analyze, and then you go back to your preparation. And this cycle goes on and on all the way till November. In between, you can see in the center, I've mentioned attitude. That's the attitude of not giving up and keep fighting. So this is so I say this is a roller coaster journey. Like life, cat is a roller coaster journey. It's going to take you up and it's going to throw you down. Important thing is to bounce back and not quit. uh, yes, GP and Gijo, anything on this?
So this is you're talking about prep, now. So one thing that I want to tell everybody is I'm going to give a oxymoron here. You have to be a lazy hard worker. Okay, so let me explain what I mean by that. So when you say you are, so what does a lazy hard worker mean, right? So at the end of the day, why are we doing all this? We have a simple goal: is that we want to get to the school of our choice. So which means we have to get a particular score in the test. Uh, so there are so I have to now know. So my question that I ask is, what is the minimum preparation that I should do to get maximum effort? Well, I'm unnecessary. I don't want to, like what Sazib was saying last time. Unnecessary. I don't want to hoard material after material, watch lessons after lessons, go prepare after prepare without knowing. Well, lazy hard worker basically means what is jugaad means. Well, jugaad is about laziness, na? So I don't want to do all this stupid math, long math questions. Is there any way to just get to the answer? The hard working is required. So the point that I'm saying is that your preparation has to be pinpointed in a particular direction to get scores. So while your preparation is happening parallel in terms of concept by concept, sir, and whatever you're doing, and you'll keep improving the skills. In by the side, you're taking this test and learning from this test, applying this test. So you will eventually come to know, यार मुझे ये 5 चीज करना है, ये 6 चीज करना है to get my scores. You can even at this point of it think about, for example, a particular I need to have an overall score, I need to have a section wise basic score cutoff. This is my broad strategy, broad plan. So all that is going to come. You always keep in mind, always keep that in mind, is that at the end of the day, I am doing this preparation to get score in the test. So if I'm repeating this again, so sorry for that. If I am not taking the mock test in parallel, what am I preparing? So your how to attempt your mock test is very simple. You do your best. You've got 40 minutes with you. At this point in time, you're all over the place. You don't know what happened with respect to the VRC section. In DLR, you're running from question to question to question. You're saying that what is this? Well, guess the question. And when you went to math, you were putting next. I'm sure you went to arithmetic because वो prepare किया था मुझे class में सिखाया था. Algebra पहुंचा नहीं. I'll do algebra later. You would not have even looked at some of these algebra questions that you could have solved. So you were acting very haphazard in this first mock test. So now when you start doing analysis, when you go to the next mock, you'll be a better test taker. And if you watch the GP's Jugaad video, then you will at least be brave enough to answer some questions by solutions, by looking at the options, by doing a little bit of stuff. So keeping keeping your target, which is simply that I'm going to be given 66 questions, and I have to maximize my attempt into the 60 question, solve as many questions as I can, just enough to get the score that I need, to get the call that I need, to get to the college that I need. So keep that preparation in mind. So there is one sort of thing that I would slightly off track. If I were to ask this question, how many of you actually seen a CAT paper? How many of us actually solved a CAT paper? How many actually looked at a CAT paper? What are they preparing for? CAT. Have you seen a CAT paper? No. People have not seen the CAT paper. People have not taken a single mock test, and now saying that I want to complete the syllabus. तेरे को कैसे पता syllabus क्या है? अगर मैंने
the interesting bit is that they will still come back and ask you, अच्छा syllabus क्या है? Syllabus कब complete होगा? Not realizing that CAT does not have a syllabus at all.
Yeah. So we have basically converted into something saying that, okay, these are the stuff that you have. CAT requires certain skills, right? So VRC में क्या है? Comprehension skills. So what is DLR? Your ability to analyze data which is given in whichever format and use simple mathematics at the end to answer the question. But it's about analyzing the data, interpreting the data. What is about maths? Your ability to solve problem solving. So problem solving does not necessarily mean that I have to always use maths. Problem solving always means is that it's somehow I've got a question, I need to get there. What ways I could do? Should I use formula? Should I use a different approach? So if you boil down to a few simple skills that you have to develop, and then you identify the skill. So you taking the cat actual cat papers on a regular basis. You taking the actual mock paper on a regular basis is going a long way in terms of your preparation and your preparation. You will see. So mark my words. Those of you will thank all of us. Is that if you're someone irrespective of you are getting 0 0 0 for the first 3 4 marks, but some of you would have continued the fight at the end. You will thank us towards the end. Uh, that for the simple advice that I give.
Yeah, and one thing I want all students to remember, those who have attended my session earlier would obviously know about it, but still I want to clearly remind you that 50% marks is a terrific score in CAT. Please don't get confused between percentile and percentage. In a 198 mark paper, if you get 99 marks, you are 99.5, or maybe slightly higher than that, as per CAT 23. As per CAT 22, you would have been about 99.2 or 3. 50% marks is a terrific score in CAT. So I was seeing some of the questions. How many should I attempt? Can I skip or no? If I need 50% marks, do I need to worry about all 66 questions? The answer is obviously no. Okay, so that is what you need to remember. Similarly, some of the things which are coming out, Sadil, which you could just possibly confirm it to students, how to watch, where to watch the video, as when will the video be uploaded, if you could just take care of that part. Sadil, you are muted.
Sorry. I already covered this, that we will be putting this videos. It already should be up. If not, I'll check it and get it up tomorrow by tomorrow maximum.
It should be up by tonight actually, because I
Yeah,
given
it
the
should be
video
up already. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd given
Where to
and
find this is
yeah.
you go to the
Just a
analysis
second.
section. Sorry.
Devanshu or Anika, can you please check with Master Ravi if he has already uploaded those videos or not, and confirm it here. Okay. Yeah. So let's go further.
Yeah. So the
Okay.
students have confirmed that
the videos are. Yeah, those of you asking about videos, the videos are already up. Siddharth Kumar has already confirmed.
Right.
Yes, all you have to do is go to the analysis page. Once you go to the analysis page, you see a lot of tabs, right? And then once you click on the solution tab, the solution video will be next to the question. And there are certain video attempts tab that you see. If you click there, then you can see videos, Jugaad videos. I'm sure there's a very user-friendly sort of page. You in the initial page, you will see a lot of graphs. I think let's spend some time on it. Go through each thing that is available to you. You will start understanding stuff, and then of course we will have a sort of a separate session in itself to how to utilize, how to go through that particular thing. But I think it's you should be able to navigate it pretty well. Yeah, that's more
about what GP you were saying about the 50% marks, getting you the 99 percentile, right? I think if all the students who have attended the ACE-CAT Con session would have heard about things which are related to that, right? So guys, don't miss out on these sessions. Already an ACE-CAT Con session was conducted probably a week or two back, about a week back, I guess. And make sure these sessions are also not all sessions are available always on Aspiration, the student portal. So make sure that you don't miss out on these sessions. In fact, one such is coming up for VARC in the coming week, right? And so make sure you don't miss them out. Yeah. So let's go. Let's move on. Okay, how to analyze mocks? Let's quickly cover this. Right, you redo all the questions. I already said this. I'm saying it again. You are supposed to solve all the questions. Those questions you couldn't do. Right, you should try whether you can do it. Maybe by the understanding of the chapter, or maybe by Jugaad solution, as GP and Jijo talked about. But try to redo them. If you've already done a question, could I have done it faster? How much time have I spent on it? Could I have done it faster? So it makes sense to redo the questions at your end before you look at the solutions or the video solutions and stuff like that. Then you do a question-wise analysis. Easy questions kitne kiye maine? How many moderate questions I did? Did I attempt some hard questions and waste my time on that and got them wrong? Right? Or even if I got them right, did I waste my time doing hard questions which I could have easily skipped and done probably 2 easy questions in place of that? So you do a question-wise analysis, then do a subsection-wise analysis. For example, arithmetic. algebra, right? We talk about RC and para jumbles or para summaries. So you do a subsection wise analysis of what you wanted to do and what you've done, right? Identify your weak areas, identify your strong areas for the next mock, and to work in between, work on the weak areas, right? Solve the questions from your weak areas after the mock. So in case वो subject हुआ है, तो you should go back to the topic and redo that topic, study that topic again, right? Watch the corresponding mock attempts by experts. So we have these Jugaad solutions and other videos coming up, right? So go and watch them after you're done with all this, and then you take the next mock. So I think, am I missing any step? In case Jijo and GP, please do fill in here. So this is how you go about analyzing a mock, right? Someone was asking about this. Now we come to the data part, right? So I think one of you please take up and explain what this means.
So on the initial leftmost column, you've got a percentile. Percentile is a rank. But a lot of people say percentile score, but you should start saying percentile rank. So first of all, just have a quick, simple understanding. If somebody says, what is your rank? Rank is 5, doesn't mean anything. If there are only 5 students in the class, that is very bad. Okay. So a percentile means that 99 percentile simply means that you've beaten 99% of the test taking population, which means you're on the top 1%. So so that is all that is rank means. So a lot of people say that I've got 99 percentile means it is not 99 percentage marks. So if you actually look at CAT 2021 score, these are scale score. So there are 3 slots. Eventually they do a simple math to eventually come out with a scale score. So you have got a 2022 score, and then you have got a CAT 2023 score. So somebody was asking the beginning, what is the level of CAT? You can actually see if you look at 99 percentile across the 3 CAT, 2021, 2022, 2023, you would have probably seen the 2023 CAT score has been lower than the other 2 CAT. We don't know what is going to happen in 2024. So typically when you look at what GP was saying, out of 198, what is 76? 200. So 76 will be what percentage? About
38, 39%.
38%. So last year, if you attempted, if you have done a close to about get net score about 38%, which I think in most of examination will be fail. I think college me if you get 38%, it will be horrible. But in the CAT that you got 38% means that you got the 99 percentile. And then when you go down to the 80th percentile, that is a score of 34. So one small thing that you want to understand here, let's say if I want to move from the 80th percentile to the 90th percentile, so that is about 10 percentile jump. Let's focus on the 2023 score. So at 80th percentile, the score is 34. 80 percentile mein score is 34. 90th percentile, the score is about 45, or let's say 44. So the difference between the 80th percentile and 90th percentile is roughly 10 marks. 10 marks is very close to 3 questions. So if I am at, let's say, a particular percentile now, if I get 3 more questions correct, I'll get there. So you can go to the next slide. I think that'll be much more easier one to look at. Okay. Now, so sorry, the previous one. Okay. So here, so next one. This one. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
This one. Yeah. Okay. Let's understand this graph. So here we have got a percentile rank. And we have the CAT 2023 score against that percentile, and we have the CDC Flexi mock 1 score against the percentile. Now, the number of students who attempt the mock is 2,000. The CAT will be probably 3 lakh. But please do understand that all the statistics will tell you that 2,000 will be a reasonably good representation of the population, right? GP keeps telling me this is that people for Indian the election polling that happens for the Lok Sabha election that is going to happen, which is going to be voted by more crores of people, and at least I think the number of data they're going to be using will be about 10,000. So anyway, so I'm just saying that this will be reasonably good representation of it. So when you look at let's say for example in this particular mock, look at let's say I'm at 80th percentile, my score is 24. I want to go to the 90th percentile. So it's a 10 percentile jump, 80 to 90. That seems to be very seems to be a huge jump. But if you actually look at the score, I am moving from 24 to 33. 24 to 33 is 9 marks. 9 marks is 3 questions. So if I can improve 1 question per section, I would have jumped 10 percentile. So let's say from 33, if I add another 9 marks, then I'm going to go to the 95th percentile. So from there, going to improve another 3 questions. Then I'll improve the percentile. So what you have to believe and think that is that today when you're looking at your percentile score and saying that my score is 50 percentiles or 60 percentiles or मैं कितना jump करूंगा, the small jump in questions, small jumps in number of questions you get correct, your eventual percentile score will be improve very high, which is why what you got to focus at this point in time in your preparation is to not worry about this percentile rank at all. Okay, so not worry about this rank. You worry about your scores, because at the end of the day, what is CAT? CAT is a collection of questions. It's a collection of 66 questions. Your score is going to improve if you solve more number of questions or make less number of mistakes. You focus on saying that today I've taken a mock test. Let's take, for example, somebody is 80th percentile, 24 questions, 24 marks. 24 divided by 3 is 8 3 is 24. 8 question. Nahi? 8 question, na? We're talking about 8 questions. In the CAT, that was 34. Matlab, how many questions? 11 questions. Matlab, 11 questions I've done. 11 questions correct out of 66. 11. Just 11. And that is 11 divided by 3 is every section I got 4 questions correct. 4 questions. Out of the question 4, I have beaten 80% of the test taking population. 3 lakh में I have beaten कितना 2 lakh को ऊपर लोग by reaching that. So what you have to now think about is, okay, let's assume that you got today 8 questions correct, but you maybe would have attempted about 15-20 questions. So what Sasil was saying is, first thing that you should do is redo all the question without looking at the explanatory answers. Explanatory answer will not tell you the problem. Explanatory answer only explains the question. Before looking at explanatory answer, redo all the questions. That itself will give you wealth of data. When GP said Avkat score, when I'm redoing this question, how many questions that I can actually do? How many marks can actually get? Let's say during the test I solved only 8 for whatever reason. When I sat and did this entire question once again, sir, I could solve 12 questions. I could solve, let's say, sir, I could solve 15 questions. I could actually solve 15 questions. Sir, if I had actually solved this 15 questions in the actual paper, my percentile would have been 95, 96, 97. And then that is where the real analysis happens. So that is one. The number 2 that you will look at, if you look at the score in comparison to the CAT 2023, it is slightly lower, which is understandable. This is the first time you're taking the test, which means that your math score and DLR score would be slightly lower. But what you also need to understand is there is no such thing as a low score. If you have got about 10 questions correct, 8 questions correct, 7 questions correct, 6 questions correct, you vis-a-vis someone who would have got, let's say, 95 percentile, the gap is only very less. And if you stick around in your preparation, take every single mock test henceforth, and you'll start filling this gap. If you give up and leave to finish your syllabus, game is over. Just wanted to let you know. Okay. Oh, sorry, it took some time there. Yeah.
That was a beautiful explanation. The idea is you are not supposed to do all questions. You're not supposed to do 50% of the questions in this kind of a mock, and you can still get a great score. The idea is what to pick and not to get stuck doing wrong questions or not to get affected. Right? Basically, this is the story of CAT. Now you might take 2 mocks, 5 mocks, 10 mocks to understand this whole game, but the idea is to first understand the game before.
बोले ये मॉक में एक मॉक में अंडरस्टैंड करो, पूरा एनालिसिस कर लो. एक बार तुमने सब वीडियो देख लिया, जीपी का वीडियो देख लिया, एनालिसिस वीडियो देख लिया, बेसिक अंडरस्टैंडिंग आ जाए यार, हाउ टू बी दिस, व्हाट इज दिस बीस्ट दैट आई एम डीलिंग विद. And then that is about 75% of the battle won. The next is about a little bit of hard work. We can go to the next slide.
So before we do, I would just want to answer two things here. Kuch bache pooch rahe, where are the percentiles? Where can I see them? Where can I find GPs, mocks? Just Jugaad solutions and so on and so forth. Guys, the first thing that makes sense is to go through aspiration, go through the entire analysis properly. So aap ek baar, you should know your student portal like a back of your hand, right? In the next 1 or 2 mocks, and it will be very useful to you. So make sure you do that. And make
Sorry,
sure
sorry,
you
sorry.
do that in the first 24 hours
So
of the
you
mock.
go to the same place where you click to take the test. You can see link called analysis, test analysis. You click, a window will open up. The first thing that you will see is the percentiles, and then you see a lot of different tabs. One of the tab will be solutions. One of the tab will be just click each of this tab. It's very simple. You just spend about 5 minutes on it. You'll be able to completely understand everything. And if you feel that there is a separate video that we have to create, then we can do that. But I think this should be good enough. Yeah.
We can do that.
Uh,
Yes.
yeah.
I do have a thumb rule, Jijo. I don't know. I want to check with you and GP if you guys agree. But roughly, if a student spends 2 hours writing a mock, he should spend at least 1.5 to 2 times of that. That is 3 to 4 hours solving and analyzing the mock.
मेरा first count is for the first 5-10 mocks, it is at least 12 hours.
Fair enough, because solving will
So
also
so
take time.
so they पहला तो I have to solve 66 questions. एक काउंट कर लेते हैं. 66 क्वेश्चन, हर एक क्वेश्चन में अभी 3-4 मिनट तो लगेगा. I'm trying to solve every goddamn question. I'm sitting in the DR layer set. So 66 into 3, 70 लेता हूँ easy maths के लिए. Okay, huh? So that's about 200 minutes. That itself will be over 3 hours. And then I'm going to watch all the video solutions for every single question. Okay, so if I'm then each of this question will be at least a 5 minutes video.
Right,
The
right.
5 minutes video. Then I'm going to spend another the 70 into 50, another let's say 3 hours, 4 hours going through it. Then I will try it once again. So I think the minimum number of hours that you spend the initial period of time has to be, let's say, 12. Basically, in the next 6 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours. So the game is not taking the test. The game is in what you do after the test. So spend time, watch every single video. Uh, just try to solve yourself. Try to understand as much as you can. Try and pick up whatever learning. Bookmark the question. Revise it after, let's say, 3-4 months. Try to solve the DLR. Let me actually give you a simple thing. We have got 30 DLR, 30 mocks. Every mock will have 4 DLR sets. 30 into 4 is 120 sets. If you have done this 120 set properly, मतलब नेक्स्ट स्लाइड में जाइए ना. डीएलआर का मतलब क्या है? तो इस बार 99 परसेंटाइल 16 मार्क्स. 16 मार्क्स मतलब कितना क्वेश्चन बोल रहे हैं हम लोग?
5.5. Very next
5.
questions.
हाँ, 2 सेट. तो अगर ढंग से करेगा, so if let's say that you're looking at the 80th percentile as about 5 marks in this mock, so we will get into section wise analysis. You will actually see that you'll sort of improve the score. So this is section wise. I think VRC would have been, looks like a reasonably savior, and then we went to DLR. I think everything fell down, and then went to QA. I hope that you guys actually sat for the entire 2 hours and took the test and did not just give up one fine day, got up in big knee. So one thing that you'll also notice is, just want to ask you, the 99 percentile. If you add, then let's add the 95th percentile scores of VRC. So VRC is 25 marks, DLR is 11 marks, and QA is 15 marks. These are individual section-wise percentile. Okay. Individual section-wise percentile. But if you add those things together, 25 plus 15 is 40. 40 plus 11 is my math is correct, no? 30, 40.
Yeah.
40 plus 11 is 51.
51.
But if you add the individual, so if you get 95 percentile in each of the section, overall you're going to get 51 marks. The overall percentile will be 98. So that's something that you keep in mind. So I hope that this is, people understand this. Okay. I think
Right.
we can go section by sections.
Let's start the sectional analysis. So VRC section.
So the first thing when you look at, so you basically, just to understand this, so this is CAT 2021, 2020, 2023. At each percentile, what the score is, the last row is Flexi one. So you say that if you compare to CAT 2023, it's actually not very similar scores. So if you actually look at the 99, just go back one, okay. If you actually look at the 99 percentile, 37, 37, 32, 30, 29, 25. So even today, with whatever little bit of preparation that you did, you are able to get scores which are very close to what the CAT is. So if not for anything, the VRC does not have syllabus and all. It is absolutely comprehension based one. The other thing that you actually notice is, I look at the 80th percentile, that is 15 marks. 15 marks is 5 questions. and 95th percentile is 25 marks. That's about 8 questions. So from 5 questions, which is 80th percentile, to 8 question net is 95th percentile. So a small. So what you have to look at is what are the silly kind of mistake that you made. How many of you hurried reading the passage? मतलब बहुत सारा time ये होता है मतलब you just read the passage and you just read the passage for the sake of reading. You are in the second paragraph, then you are actually asking कैसे पहुंच गए मतलब what is going on, and then so you have you so some of these the unforced error that you would have done in this particular paper, you will realize. So the score improvement from, let's say, from this point to the next sort of score that you need not be I have to study more. It has to be being a better test taker. Okay, we can go to the next slide. Uh,
Yep.
so just to help you understand what this slide is, okay, so we have to basically understand. So this is accuracy in attempt. So do you have a pen or you don't have?
No, I don't have a pen connected.
Gio, give me a minute. I'll get my tab and I'll connect it. So I'll take a couple of minutes.
All right. While GP is taking over, let me just help you understand what the graph is. So you see this bar. So that is the percentage of. Firstly, you see that black border. So if you look at question number 1, the tip is about 90 percentage. The left hand side is percentage. Okay. And if you let's look at question number 4, the tip is about very close to about 78 percentage. And if you look at question number 17, that the black tip is at about 80 percentage. So that is the percentage of students who attempted the question. So you look at passage number 1, the attempt is on an average. If you look at the black shade, attempt on an average is about 75% attempted. Passage number 2, it has come down to about 50 to 60 percentage. Passage number 3, it has come down to 40 percentage on an average. Passage number 4, 30 percentage. Basically, हमने शुरू किया passage number 1 से. Okay. By the time we attempted passage number 3, we did not attempt it. VA, typically look at VA, the attempt is about 80 percentage. So that is that graph. And then this bar chart is out of those students attempt the question, what percentage got the question correct. So if you look at question number 1, 20% of the students got question number 1 correct. Question number 2, 30% got the question number 2 correct. Question number 3, about 30% got correct. So, and then next we have color coded. Okay. So anything above, let's say 60% accuracy, call it easy. But easy in the sense that majority of students got it. We can see 2 green. Between about 40 to 60 percentage, we have put a yellow color code, and less than that, we have put a red ones. So red one means those are the questions where, for example, question number 1, 20% of the students got the question wrong, while some 90% attempted. Right? Huh? So कुछ तो लफड़ा है वो question में. So that question had some traps. The option had some traps that you sort of fell for. I think the first passage, if I actually look at the passage number 1, just to open, just give me a second. I'll just open here. What was passage number 1? Okay. So the passage number 1 is sort of these environmentally sickened by the damage that industry wrecking in the world. It's talking about indigenous sort of environmental practices. That's a passage. And question number 1 is asking the question. The passage mentions New Guinea tribesmen explanation of their custom in order to. It's a specific function question, and sort of we got that particular question wrong. So one of the things that I have the in general notice is your attempt. Typically, if I look at it, I think passage number 2 seems to be the passage which had a lot of yellows, the easier ones. If I have to look at passage number 2, the passage number 2 is about the science journalism, right? And interestingly, about 40% of you did not even touch the particular passage. And then passage number 4, you got a lot of issues. So what you have to do now is, see, at the end of the day, every question has got one correct answer. I mean, when it comes to reading comprehension, the problem with reading comprehension is prior knowledge is completely useless. The entire knowledge that is required to answer the question is given in the passage and passage itself. So everything is based on the passage. So if you got a particular question wrong, it would have been that I understood the passage wrong, or maybe when I went to the question, I got stuck in some trap in the options, or maybe I would have kind of wasted a lot of time in a particular question and stuff. Uh, so if you look at the passages, all if in terms of mapping, the passages where the type of passages, the level of difficulty is mapped to CAT 2023 slot one, and the sources were mapped to that, and the kind of genre was mapped to that. So this will be a sort of a good reflection in terms of what that is. Another thing that I want to talk about is the question number 17 to 24. These are VA questions. There are 8 VA questions, verbal ability questions. 8 VA questions. 8 threes are 24 marks. 24 marks worth of questions. And and 24 marks of small shorter questions. If let's say one of the things that typically happens in your entire preparation for CAT is we tend to believe that CAT is completely about reading comprehension. CAT reading comprehension करके we completely ignore that the verbal ability exists. Now, if today, so obviously in your if you are a classroom student, वो तो एक curriculum ऐसा जाएगा. At some point in time, you will preparation of this happens. But I'm saying that utilize this mock test, utilize the video solution that is given in the mock test in terms of learning how to attempt these questions. Imagine, for example, today you let's say in the next let's say 10 mocks, which will be let's say by next 3 months. I have reached a stage where out of this 8 question, I'm able to get about 5 questions correct. Or let's say 4 question net correct, 5 question net correct. Which is about 12 marks to 15 marks. 12 marks to 15 marks from BA alone is 70th percentile marks rank. So I can beat 75% of the test takers. I can beat 75% of the test taker by simply ensuring that my skill set in VA is good. So, for example, my gut feeling is that the question of paragraph jumble, odd sentence questions, you probably would have struggled. So, if I actually go through these VA questions one by one, let's go with what is question number 17. Question number 17 was a sentence placement question or paragraph completion question, which was easy. Question number 18 was also a sentence placement questions. So, and question number 19 was a odd sentence in a paragraph question. Question number 20 was odd sentence paragraph question. So 19 and 20, a lot of you struggled. Question number 21 and 22 were paragraph jumble questions, the struggle, and question number 23, 24 was summary questions. So question number 23, 24. So some paragraph summaries like reading comprehension you managed, sentence placement question you managed, paragraph jumble, odd sentence question. If you can work on this very seriously in your early preparation itself, you can get about sort of 8 questions correct, and then slowly you can build your skill set in terms of handling reading comprehension. So that's something that I want to share at this point in time. GP, anything you want to add here?
I think we covered everything. The only request I'll have with all the students is that make sure you read the passage carefully.
Yeah.
And carefully reading does not mean you read the passage 2 times, read it once, because whatever you'll understand, based on that only you can answer the question. And if you go to the question, you don't understand the question or don't have any idea what the answer is likely to be, just leave it and move on. Okay, the bottom line which I want all students to understand is there is no shame in leaving questions in CAT. On the contrary, if you are not willing to leave questions in CAT, you will have a very poor outing. So be willing to leave questions. If you don't understand, leave it. There are quite a large number of easy questions available. Focus on them.
Yeah. I think we can go to the Harakiri GP.
DILR.
This is like
Okay. क्या बहुत हालत खराब हुआ है क्या लोगों का इसमें?
अब आप देख लो next.
Yeah. Okay, so 4 marks is 75 percentile, 99.5 is 18. Actually, I'm not surprised.
Okay.
See, end of the day, what I would want all students to understand is that DILR is something you have never studied before. English you have been studying, maths you have done. This is completely a new area for you. And because this is a new area, this requires greater attention from your side. And unfortunately, I find many students just postponing DILR. That maybe I'll do it sometime later. Let me do what I know. But what you don't know, it requires greater amount of effort. So this is so there would be a few of you, and I can assure you it's going to be very, very few people who are fond of puzzles. Both of you have been doing puzzles on a regular basis since you were a kid, would not have problem with DILR. But that is going to be very, very few people. So my suggestion to all of you is just start doing DILR. Unlike Quant, which has a syllabus, neither DILR nor reading comprehension has a syllabus. In fact, the section in English still you will get kind of passages. DILR, the kind of sets can be infinite. So this is the section which needs greatest amount of effort and greatest amount of preparation from your side. So start early. Yes, out of these four sets which were there, I would say if you tried doing the first set, it would have been a challenge. But second, third, and fourth, if not all, at least a couple of questions were doable in each of them. Okay. So secondly, DILR requires patience. Just because I have got four sets, okay, just because I have got four sets does not mean that if I have got four sets does not mean I will give 10 minutes per set. Okay. This is not going to happen. If this is what you are trying to do, this does not work. Okay. So you have to not only choose the right set to attend. Once you have decided you are going to do it, you have to get sufficient time. And you please look at CAT 21, 22, 23. What is 99th percentile? Here it is. Okay. And that is about 50% marks. That means if you can do two sets well in the paper, which means you should be willing to give about 20 minutes per set. If you can do two sets well, giving about 15 minutes minimum, maybe 20, 22 minutes per set, you will do well in this section. This is a game of patience. This is not a set in which this is not a section in which you have to look at speed. This is where you need to be extremely patient and go through the process. And if required, make table, do the calculation, do everything. But don't rush through it. Yeah, so the anything you'd want to add?
No, sir, I think everything we've covered, GP. So I think we're good to go.
Okay. Now for DILR, I'm sorry. Sorry.
I think two of us are operating. Sorry.
I'll do that. Okay. So everything looks difficult. Everything looks difficult. But if I have to look at the paper as a whole, I'll just go to this one. Okay. I will say yes, first set was difficult. This was a difficult set. I am not going by these numbers which are there on this graph. Okay. But when you look at set number 3, which was the milk wala set concept, I will just check. The one which had milk wala, that is the one which was easy. The last set and in the other two sets, you got at least two questions are doable. So between these three sets, there were about 8 to 10 doable questions. That is what should have been the focus. So right approach for this particular section would be that first thing you do is go through all sets. Try to identify which is the easy one for you, which is the one which is difficult for you. Okay. And obviously difficult one you leave, and the easy one which you are reasonably sure of solving, that is what you start with. And in this process, if you do one set, it is fine. If you are able to do two sets of data, it is great. But the first thing is that first 5-7 months, spend your time through all the four sets. And when you go through my video of DILR overview, I have spent about 15 minutes trying to explain how to choose the right set of data given the paper. What is it that you should be looking for? The first set could have been very easy. But for the fact it talked about the range of salary. If I remove the salary range, first set becomes easy. With the salary range included, the set becomes difficult. So the first thing is going to be to understand how are you going to choose the set, and that is what I would want you to focus on. Okay. Gijo, anything from your side on DILR?
The thing that I have to talk about DLR is exactly what GP said. So if you will now make some assumptions or some inferences. The inference that you're likely going to draw is मेरा तो DLR का औकात नहीं है. Okay, DLR is beyond me. Is the inference that you're likely going to draw, which is going to be absolute bad inference. So how do I improve something like DLR? Data interpreter, it's logic, right? And logic is something that can be trained. Logic is your logical reasoning ability can be improved. The only way to improve it, you have to get that cells rolling. So this is what I'll advise you to do. Every single DLR set you try to solve. Take 1 hour, 2 hours if it takes. Take the whole day on one set. Don't look at the solution. Give up when there is absolutely no stuff. Solve it. The process of thinking on each of these sets. Once again, I'm sure that you would not have seen such a question ever in your life. You see a lot of circles, ABC written, you're like, okay. You see a lot of missing data, you'll say, what is going on here? But sit with, Abhi, there is nothing at stake, right? But exam is done, test is over. Now you are sitting with the paper. You open that, you can easily open, go back and click on the question. Don't look at the solutions. Spend at least half an hour, 1 hour. I will not mind if you spend the next 1 week on this only. Solve every single question at much your ability. Then step number 2, look at the solution. There is a written solution or video solution. You can watch the video solution. You watch the video solution, put it down. Then you solve the set once again. After watching it, practice the set, and then keep it aside. Okay, and then if you can do this for every single mock, plus along your preparation, you can do it for every single previous year's CAT paper from 2017. 2017 से लेके 2023, the total number of DLR set that is available will be how much? 16 into 3 is 48. And then we have 2019, 2021, 22, sorry, 2021, 2023. That is at least 4 into 3 into 4.
17 into 19, I'll just do the complete thing. 17 to 19 is 16 into 3, 48.
48.
And then CAT 2020 was 5 sets of data, so 15.
15.
Then 21, 22, and 23 is 4 into 4 sets of data. 4 is 12 into 3, 36.
36. So we're looking at 40.
Yeah.
48 plus 15. 100 होगा ना?
99 sets.
Huh?
99 sets.
99 sets. You have 99 sets of the CAT. Each of these mock is going to give you close to total number of tests about 100. Yes, 120. You will have 220 sets, either each. Okay, I'm not even counting the set that you do in the class and stuff. Also, and section test and this test and that test. I'm just taking this mock and this. If you can write and if you can start at least on a weekly basis, ensure that you are taking one CAT 17 ka slot number 1 ले लिया. This is available. The test is available, easily available. It is there in a portal. It is there online, and sort of try and solve those sets. Try and solve this. You should. Your learning is going to happen if you try a lot and fail. So you start putting your brain. Your brain will start working. So the most important thing is that at this point in time, looking at all these paper and getting scared. Okay, and which is very natural thing to happen. You get a lot of worries, but please do understand, like what GP said, अपने को 4 सेट तो करना नहीं है ना, पूरा 4 तो करेंगे मतलब we'll be like God. And it is not even that every single set may have to solve all the 5 questions. I can solve 2, 3 here, 3, 4 here. If I am able to solve 3 questions, awesome. 3 sets, awesome. If I'm able to solve 2 sets, still fine. And on the day of the CAT, you will easily be able to find those tests. So at this point in time, don't have any. One other thing that GP I want to tell the students is that don't now do shortcut studies, in the sense I will not do set theory. I will only do this. At this point in time, it's important that you try to solve every single set. And one thing that I've noticed, the Sasil and GP, is that once you start solving DI, after about 3 months' time, you will have most fun with DLR.
Yep.
Yes.
You will not have this fun with the VRC. You might have fun. Okay, depends. You might not have fun, but you will always have fun with DLR because it eventually becomes a game.
It becomes a game.
It's sort of becoming a game. It's like you're trying to uncover some mystery that is there here. It is going to be absolute. So if eventually at some point in time, if you make your preparation really exciting and you're looking forward to the stuff, I think this is. And like GP said, everybody's bad in this. So nobody is trained in DLR, not in their curriculum, not in my 10th standard, 11th standard. A lot of people say the engineer should be good at it. None engineer is worried. Okay, everybody is worried. So this is sort of an amazing opportunity that you have to use this. So the good that you've taken this mock, you basically हमने VRC देख लिया, DLR देख लिया. This is 60% of the paper. If you miss a mock, then ये सब होगा नहीं. then you'll not take the test. So you'll not prepare that stuff. So just wanted to tell that the elements of your preparation. Yeah.
So
I'll just, Gino, I'll just take the stones to. I have the paper in front of me. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just go to that place. Just give me 1 second. I think yeah. Gino, is my screen visible?
Yeah, exam. Yeah.
Yeah. So all I was saying was this was a difficult set, and it became difficult because of this one line. If you remove this line, this becomes a very easy set. This is where the game was in this set. And if you miss out this and start solving this set, you will end up wasting a lot of time. And look at the questions. If you look at the questions, this is talking about salary package using that line. This is talking about salary package using that line. This is talking about salary package using the same line. And the other two questions, which is question number 1 and 2, can be done without the salary part. So if you pick up this set, the first two questions will be easy, the other three will be difficult. But you need to have that understanding. You need to have the understanding that this is what is making the set difficult, and this is what you will have to pick up as we keep doing sets. Similarly, if you look at the second set of data, okay, yeah, this looks like a crazy thing. But if you are willing to read the story from here to here, you will understand it. Okay? So if you are, the key out here is to not rush through it. I find many a time students rushing through the data and going to the question. No, if you are going through the data, if you don't understand this part completely, if you don't know what is happening here, questions are not going to be of any help to you. You have to spend time in understanding the data, and this was a doable set of data. Similarly, if I look at the third set, I will probably say this was the easiest set of data. This is the one which was extremely easy. This was out of the four. This is the one which everyone should have definitely attempted. So I want you to again understand this particular table. If you understand this table, you can do the set. If you don't understand, what is it saying? It is saying from Daisy to A, there's a 6 kilometer distance. Daisy to B, there's 11 distance. Daisy to C, Daisy to D, Daisy to B. Similarly, from A to B, the distance is given. A to E given. There's no direct route from A to C or A to D. So if you understand this part, you will be able to solve it. And these are things as you have never studied in school, college. So you'll have to get started on this right from the basics. This was the easiest set, and I would suggest all of you to try this set yourself without looking at the solution. And similarly, if you look at the last set of data, I'll say set number 3 and 4 were the easier sets. This again was a set which was very easy, looks like a huge amount of data. The problem is the data looks huge. And hence you have to have what Salil said, you need to have the patience, you need to have the stamina to go through the entire thing, understand it. Otherwise, all that this data needs is this. This is what is required. But you have to understand this is the requirement. You have to go through that entire stupid story, and then you have to start doing it. Okay. So please remember, your job in this section is to understand. And as Vijay and I have said, 20 minutes per set is not a problem at all. Please be willing to spend 20 minutes if you have to. Okay.
So a related question by Vatsal, saying that do we keep a track of time when practicing DILR sets? So I think no, right now try to just get the sets in place. Of course, it's a good idea to always time yourself along with, but don't push it right now at this stage. Probably 2 months down or months down, you can start doing that. Start getting comfortable practicing the sets first is my suggestion.
Okay.
So Quant is equally bad. I have not seen what the performance in Quant.
If you actually look at CAT 2023 and CDC Flexi, the same ही है.
Yeah, almost same hai.
Same.
So paper was, I felt paper was somewhat close to CAT 23. Those slightly easier, I would say, but obviously the stones are not at the right level of preparation. So obviously they will the scores are reflecting that. But looks to be very, very similar to CAT. Okay. And the critical thing again being, I would say, if you look at this one, this 95 percentile, 5 questions. 5 questions, 95 percentile, and that is to me the critical thing as far as this section is concerned. Okay. And here, more than anything else, you need to again learn to leave the question, because in DILR you can see I am not getting the hang of the set. In quant there will be quite a few questions which you'll think कि यार हो जाएगा, थोड़ा सा time और लगाता हूँ. So the rule has to be very simple when you're looking at quant. Quant has to be, again, if I look at the question, and those of you who have attended my ACE quant session, I'm just repeating that part. If you look at the question and you are 100% sure you can solve in, let's say, 3 minutes or so, please solve. If you look at a question you are not sure if you can solve, or you think I can solve, but maybe it will take me 5 to 6 minutes, leave it for round to come back to it in the end if you have time. Your job is to do only these questions. And then there'll be a few questions which you'll see and you'll know, कि boss, it is beyond my auqat. Please leave those questions. Your job is essentially to attempt only these questions. If you get time after that, then you can look at a few of these questions. But don't worry about the difficult ones at all, and just keep focusing on the questions you're 100% sure of solving. And every paper has at least 5 questions which are extremely easy and you can definitely solve. So very rarely you get students who say my auqat score was less than 15. And remember, what is 15? 95 percentile. If you look at CAT 23, in the worst case also, if you look at 15 marks, 5 questions will give you at least 85 percentile, even if you look at CAT 21 and 22. Okay, so 85 percentile, what does that mean? You have cleared the sectional cutoff of quant. That is what it means. You are clearing the sectional cutoff of every quant paper. Okay? Every institute which has a sectional cutoff, sorry. Okay. Jijo Sadil, anything you want to add with respect to
I
quant?
just want to say this, GP, that we keep telling students every year कि जाने दो, 4 question नहीं आते, 5 question नहीं आते, just keep moving on and till the time that you find the right one for yourself. Actually, this happened with me in CAT 2023, slot 3, right, where I let the first 5 or 6 questions just go and then attempted the 6th one first. The problem is only how much time am I going to spend to reach that 6th or 7th or 8th question, which I know, right? How much time am I going to waste is the question. So this is what we need to learn, over time when you appear for mocks, of letting wrong questions go out and attempting, because as you can see, we only need so many questions to get to a certain percentile, right? So which Jijo also explained, earlier. So we don't need too many questions. We just need to find the right ones and not get stuck with the wrong ones. I think that is what eventually we need to learn.
And the QA video, the QA, there are 2 videos. One is the QA overview. This says essentially which were your round 1, round 2, round 3 questions, which are the questions you should have attempted or not attempted, or come back to it if you have time. Which are the questions which could have been solved with respect to some jugaad. And then you have the jugaad video. It solves about, let's say, I think I've solved about 12 or 13 questions. Some of them with jugaad, some of them without jugaad. But the idea being that these are the questions which were different, or these are the questions which you could have solved in a slightly different way. Okay, I'll quickly take a couple of questions to explain what I mean by jugaad out here. Just okay. Let me just share my screen again. Share screen, entire screen. Okay. Okay. Back to the. Okay. Now, okay, Jijo, look at this question. This is not a quant question at all. This is a verbal question to me. This to me is a critical reasoning question. Now, if you're good in verbal, or if you've got a decent score in verbal and you think you are reasonable in critical reasoning, you should have solved this question. This has got nothing to do with quant. And if you just read this line, okay, Raghu says if a vowel is on one side of the card, then an even number is on the other side. Mother disapproved. So if Raghu is saying, what is Raghu saying? If there's a vowel, that implies on the other side there should be even.
But if not even, that's not vowel.
Yeah, that's right. So it is not even, it's not a vowel. So which one will you check? The not even one. So this was a critical reasoning question, and many of you who are good in quant have in verbal have not attempted this question. But I'll just share a couple of questions. Oh, okay. This was one of my jugaad questions. Okay? Because if I do it by the conventional method, solving this equation will take a lot of time to me. So what I said was, why I'm saying this jugaad, because I have used the choices. So what is the value of under root 3x plus 4? So I started by saying if this is equal to under root 3x plus 4, that means square both the sides. 5 into 4, 20 is equal to 3x plus 4. This implies x will be equal to 16 by 3. Not possible. Long choice. Similarly, check the choices. This is the only choice with that. Once I found that x is equal to this, what you can do is substitute x equal to whatever into this equation. So what does this mean? 3x plus 4 is equal to 16. This implies x equal to 4. If you put x equal to 4 into this, it satisfies. That's the answer. So jugaad is nothing but, as Jijo said, logic being applied in these questions. Okay, there are multiple ways. So this was one of my jugaad questions. Now, can it be done mathematically? Yes, it can be, but it will take me time. If you think you can do it very fast, then it's a separate issue. Oops, I'm sorry. Okay. Similarly, let's take another jugaad question for. Okay, look at this question. I will not do this question at all. This is, as far as I am concerned, multiple cases to be checked. X equal to minus 2. Sorry, x greater than minus, because to make this 0, if x is less than minus 2, this becomes negative, x is more than minus 2. So I'll have to check multiple cases. I don't have patience to check multiple cases. So question is easy, doable, but this will take me 5-6 minutes. I don't want to attempt this question. Similarly, if I look at further, okay, this is similarly a question which will take time to solve. It is not that this is unsolvable. This is a time-consuming question, hence I should not be attempting. This, if you know logs, this you should be definitely solving it. What does this tell you? Log of AB base 3. This, what is this telling me? A plus B is equal to 3 square. So this is a kind of question I'll be happy doing. Now please compare if you know logs, because if you don't know logs, there's nothing you can do about it. But if you know logs, please compare this question with, let's say, this question. And you will understand the amount of time required become very, very less in the logs question as compared to the other one. Okay. In this also, at the end, I've used a small jugaad, and that is what we should look at. Okay. So ये recording वाला ही है मेरा अभी तक. I forgot to erase. Okay, no problems. There's the, again, I'll just take another question. Time speed distance का ठीक है. I'll just pick up one. Yeah, look at this question. Okay. The solution is there in front of you, but let me just say. Okay. Now the interesting bit out here, a set of 7 numbers to be chosen without replacement. Mean of the numbers is 4 more than the median. What is the largest possible sum of mean plus median? So we need to find mean plus median. The question is saying mean is 4 more than the median. So if the median is x, mean should be x plus 4. That means my answer should be 2x plus 4. That means my answer has to be even. If my answer is even, these two choices are wrong. Is this jugaad? No, it is common sense. Okay? Or you want to call it jugaad, it's fine with me. But my point is, are you blindly going to make equations, or are you using logic? If you are going to blindly make equation, yes, you'll solve this. I'm not saying you will not solve. But at the end of the day, if you're going to use logic, you'll reduce your work. Now, what is this telling me? 2x plus 4 is 18. That this is telling me x is equal to 7. And this is telling me x equal to 6. The question is saying largest possible. Check if x equal to 7 is possible or not. If yes, this is the answer. So what we do with the help of jugaad, first of all, is to understand, we try to look at the complete data. We don't look at part of the data, or we read the question carefully. We go through the entire data and we end up trying to make use of every piece of information, not only in the question, but also in the choices. And that is what is something which is new for many of you, and you will need to pick up. Okay? There's another question. Yeah, isme log, people are making equation. I just wrote it down. Okay, you can check this later on. Okay, I'll skip this. This is a standard jugaad question. Now, those of you who have attended my ASCAT session, this is a standard jugaad question. All you need to do is assume Amit does the job in 10 hours, Swati does the job in 10 hours. Please check the solution. This kind of question, every year in CAT, you get a couple of questions like this, where you can just take a value, substitute, and get the answer. Okay, this is a knowledge question, so I'll not take it. I'll not pick it up right now. Again, I'm just looking for this one. Now, this is a question. Okay, I'm erasing it. I'm erasing it. But this is a question you should do by allegation. I have given the Jugaad solution using allegation. Many people make equations, but to me, this is an allegation question. And allegation is one of the most powerful concepts from a CAT perspective. We use it in multiple question types. Okay, this was again a Jugaad question. Please go through it. Looks lengthy, but you can get the answer fairly fast. Another question where you can look at the choices. If you look at the choices, you will be able to cut down the choices and probably, though I did not come to the answer immediately, but it helped me nevertheless. Okay. The terms of AP add up to 715. The first term of AP, okay, whatever it is, the terms of the new sequence, find the sum of the first, last, and the middle terms of the original AP. The middle term, if it is X, the middle term is also the average, and that means if the middle term is X, the sum of first plus last will be 2X. So what is the first plus last plus X plus the middle term? It will be equal to 3X. So what does this tell me? My answer needs to be a multiple of 3. This is not a multiple of 3. This is not a multiple of 3. Answer can be either of these only. Okay. So you are able to eliminate choices, and then with part calculation, you can get the answer. This is the kind of skill which I would want you to look at and see if you can pick up this kind of a thing. Then it definitely becomes useful from your point of view. Okay. Yeah,
So
back to you, Sadeep.
वो वाला question ना, x times mod x. X times mod x minus 6x, basically quadratic है ना.
Basically quadratic.
Basic quadratic. So number of solution will be even first of all, है ना. So
yeah.
it'll be either 2 or 4. 4 बार काटना मतलब वो बहुत मुश्किल है. So basically what is ये मेरा what the modulus does is to change direction ना.
Yes.
तो ऊपर से नीचे कर देगा ना उसको. That just makes it quadratic को change direction. So if you have to u, it'll change. कितना बार change करेगा वो? So 4 will be too much. So my feeling is answer will be 2.
I have not solved that question, so I don't know, but I'll check. but the point is, yes, some of you are saying, why can't x be 16 by 3? Just start doing it. Okay. Just start doing it. My request to you is, please start doing it. It is something you will start using them, getting used to it.
Well, first of all, very likely the answer is going to be a cute number. X is going to be a cute number. So you are doing that x square minus. तो पहले 16.3 वो चेक ही नहीं करूंगा ना मैं 4 चेक करूंगा मिल जाएगा ना आंसर जीपी उधर.
बिल्कुल. अच्छा, कुंतल is saying, कुंतल यार ये बोल चुके हम लोग, will we get जुगाड़ videos for these?
दो बार बोल चुके हैं. Go through the video.
बोल चुके कुंतल, तुम्हारे analysis पे जाके तो देखो पहले. Get into the analysis page, you will get it there.
And guys, start getting on the sessions on time to not miss out these things.
So,
yeah.
ठीक है.
Okay, so now going forward, what are the steps to improve? Finally, just summarizing whatever we've discussed so far, right? Take the mocks irrespective of prior preparation. आपका course हुआ नहीं हुआ, syllabus हुआ नहीं हुआ, chapter हुआ नहीं हुआ. Jugaad solutions, GP has given us examples of how we could have done it. 4 example में से 1-2 तो मैं कर ही सकता था, even if I have not done the chapter, right? So take mocks irrespective of the preparation. Avoid questions you are not certain about, right? Or you can just try, experiment. 2-3 mocks, you can just do experimentation. Nothing wrong with it, which is why you have 30 mocks in the first place, right? Attempt questions you are confident about for sure, right? This also you learn कि मैं सर मुझे पता था लेकिन मैंने किया नहीं, सही निकलता, right? So all those kind of learnings that you will get. Give enough mocks for practice, right? And spend a few hours. Like Jijo said, let's hold on to that 12 hours as of now, analyzing the mocks, solving the mocks, and analyzing the mocks, and watching all the videos, right? So spend a few hours doing this, and you should do it in the first 24 to 48 hours is what I say. Okay, for the maximum impact. Okay, quickly, we're breaking down into sections. Again, it's a summary of what we've discussed. Focus on improving your basic verbal skills and expanding your vocab if you can, right? So read newspapers, read books, read articles, read as much as you can, whatever you can, right? Doesn't matter.
Saji, just want to add one small thing. When you read newspapers or editorials, once you have read the editorial or the article, can you write down a 2-line summary of that article? That will help you focus on the understanding of the passage. Okay, otherwise, many times we don't know, okay, now that I have read, what do I do with it? You just try to write a 2-line summary and just see if your friends understand that article or not based on your summary. If yes, then you have understood the passage.
Right. Do not hastily skim through the paragraphs. At the same time, don't get stuck on reading the same thing again and again. There are two opposite things, right? एक तो आगे आगे बढ़ गए, कुछ पढ़ा नहीं, समझ में नहीं आया. That's one thing. Other thing is when you kept repeating the same two lines, read it 3 times and still did not understand it. Both the things can happen, and we have to work our way around this, right? I'm sure a lot of us will help you out. Jijo will also help you out. Learn to identify and understand the keywords. This keyword thing helps you in everything. Para jumbles ho, right? Para completion ho, RC ho, it helps you everywhere. So we have to understand these keywords and indicators wala part and try to get the gist of whatever we've read. These two things are the key skills required. ये सब सीखेंगे. अगर आपने सीखा नहीं, it's okay. These are the things to learn going forward. In case anyone has to add anything I've missed out, please do.
It's fine. We can move on.
Right. DILR में, as this section needs more practice, do a lot of practice. Jijo ने ये बोला कि you'll fall in love with doing puzzles for the fun of it. Right. So keep doing it. Right. So get familiar and cover as many types of questions as you can, especially the mocks and the PYQs, previous year question papers, which are there as a part of your practice material. Attempt various sets and questions to become familiar. Analyze the mocks. Make sure you analyze the mocks. Right. And automatically with practice, your speed and accuracy will work. वैसे भी जैसे आपने बोला कि 2 क्वेश्चंस के अटेम्प्ट पे getting 2 sets attempted and 1 set gotten right, you would have still got a good 90 percentile plus or maybe 95 percentile plus, right, depending on the accuracy. And review the past year papers, right? So this is about DILR. Going to QA, you can improve the speed and accuracy by memorizing the most commonly asked formulae. That's one thing that everyone suggests. Jugaad is a big thing, right? Formula yaad nahi hai, chapter pata nahi hai, koi baat nahi, right? There are multiple ways of jugaad, and I'm sure you'll learn it from GP's videos and a lot of other sessions like RT99 and everything coming up, right? We will be discussing this a lot. And in case you've missed the ACE CAT Quant session, we'll make sure that it is up and you can watch it again. Don't miss sessions, because a lot of things you'll get from these sessions. Review the mistakes. So solve the paper again, review the mistakes and do the missed questions to identify what you could have done, what was your OCAT score, and so on. Try to find out shortcuts and methods we've discussed. And if a question seems difficult or lengthy, leave it for now. Without any conscience, please leave it. Chhod do. Kuch nahi hoga. All is well, right? So yeah, that's about it. Now, so this test might have sort of bogged you down a bit, given you some pressure. So let me put some good news out there so that you can compare yourself with what happened to people previous years. So first of all, this is a CAT 23 result, right? Just putting it out there for you to feel positive about, because you are the ones who are going to be here next year. So don't give up. Not yet, not ever, right? Let's reach CAT with style. Okay, so this is I'm not going to read out the data because you can see it for yourself. Interestingly, I want to dwell for a minute on this one. These are actual students from the last year, and I've just picked up 5 examples for you. And you can see the CDC max and CDC min. So out of the 30 mocks, whatever they attempted, 29, 28, 30, whatever they attempted, right, their minimum percentile, Shruti had 12 percentile in one of her mocks. It could be the first 1 or 2 mocks. And she reached 92 percentile in her max CTC. Right? ऐसे minus करते नहीं है, but it's an improvement of 80 percentile, so to say. And eventually in CAT 23, she got a 99.25. So don't judge yourself just yet. Okay? Surbi, I'm just going to read it out. Shubhi is 19 percentile to 94 percentile to 99 percentile in actual CAT. Right? Simran, surprisingly, all start with S.
Okay. Cut copy paste में कुछ हो गया है. All cannot be 99.25.
Acha, हाँ, sorry. So I'll check this. But we picked up cases with high percentile only. So who've started with 12, 15, 19. So guys get an idea about this. I'll correct it. Right? But this should give you a lot of positivity. कि आप कहीं पे भी हो, you can be the 99 percentiler, 98 percentiler for sure. Don't give up. And here are the top 20 of the mocks that we just gave. We just did the CDC Flexi 1. And congratulations to all of you, Chitwan, Prerna, Akhil, Utsav, Komal, and all 20 of you, right, from all of us. Good job done. However, don't be too happy, don't be too sad. This is just the beginning. There's a long way to go, right? Any word here, GB and Jijo, before we move towards the end of the
So
session?
this is a good start. Just continue with the process. Please remember, this is going to be a very painful process. There will be highs and there will be lots of lows. Just persist with it. Don't give up because a couple of papers don't go well, and just persist with it. Okay, that's all I would say.
Right. Now, the human guy is asking, sir, how many mocks should we give before? I think 30 mocks are available. You should give 30. I mean, not more than 30, 35, not less than
Just
28.
follow the mock schedule. Don't worry about
Okay.
anything else. Just follow the
By the way,
mock schedule blindly. Don't do
the
anything else.
schedule is already there in your ASPI account. So make sure you go through the schedule for the next upcoming tests also. That will help you a lot, right? And yeah, so let's move on. Important updates. So before you go, these are the important updates to understand. This will help you grow in the upcoming tests also. Daily dose starts on 15th of March, which is 3 days from now. Your daily dose is something which starts at 3 a.m. every morning and closes at 12 in the midnight. Yep, yep.
Also,
GP.
basically, just tell you what daily dose is. These are
Yeah.
daily short tests. Okay, every day there'll be one passage of ERC, or let's say some BA questions, one set of DLR. This happen every day. You take the test on the day. If you don't take the test is gone. So morning the test will get uploaded every single day. So it happens. I think it's a weekend free, na? So every day so it keeps. It's like one tests that you can take from a sort of daily basis. So that's the daily dose. Yeah, okay, yeah, just one dose. Yeah.
Right. Thank you. Sectional tests coming up next month. So we are putting sectional tests, starting April, May, June, July, August. So we are spreading it over 5 months. So your sectional test will come in, which is like only VARC test, only QA test, only DILR test, and so on. So that is also coming up for your practice next month. Race to 99 percentile, race to 99th percentile is a series of sessions that we are going to do. We are starting with the head start, right? So all of you should attend this session, right? And we are going to attempt a actual CAT slot 3 paper. We will use all the jugaad things and we'll talk strategy and we'll talk a lot of things. So be ready, and this will help you bridge that gap to 99 percentile. Okay, so make sure you don't miss out a lot of exciting things coming up your way. And this mock was just the first thing. Okay, this is just the beginning, as I keep saying again and again. Thank you so much. With this, I am done. Jijo, GP, before any closing statements, we've said a lot.
Yeah,
No, I think we've covered everything.
Yeah. Right. So all the best, guys. All the best for the next one. Be positive, stay positive, and keep working. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, good night.
Bye-bye.